5 years ago, I had a crush on this girl. So at the time, I was like, what, 16, 17 years old, thereabouts. Well, basically, I was about to write JAMB. So in Nigeria's education system, if you're like, when you finish high school or when you finish secondary school, before you enter the university, you have to write like 3 or 4 exams. So this is JAMB, WAEC, NECO, post-UME, and co. So that's like how 90% of the population enters. Then there are some other ways you can enter, like JUPEB or direct entry or whatever, but 99% of the population will just usually write JAMB and WAEC and stuff, and they will enter university. So usually when you want to write the JAMB and all that, your secondary school, like you can learn, like you can pass the exam, but usually if you want to, for highest chances of passing, it's better you just go to like some lecture center. So basically I was in this lecture center, I went to this lecture center, and there was this particular girl that I used to see. So she always used to sit at the front, far at the front, I was always at the back. So I don't know, for whatever reason, this girl caught my eye and I had a big crush on her. So the plan was that before we end that session, like before, because it would be like maybe, the session would just be like maybe 6 months, it would start like 6 months before JAMB, or you can basically join anytime. So I think I joined when it was just like 3 months to JAMB. So my brain basically was, okay, before JAMB, because when JAMB comes around, like basically that session is over, so everybody will leave, I will talk to this girl. Like that was the plan. So I will walk up to her, gather some courage, and go and talk to her. So long story short, the session ended. I did not talk to this girl. It sounds very funny to say this now, but I basically did not talk to her. So many opportunities will present itself so many times, but usually I'll come up with some stupid excuse, or she's talking with somebody else, or she looks tired, or I'm not in the mood, or tomorrow, whatever stupid excuse I came up with. Session ended, I didn't talk to this girl. So, but the thing is that's just one of the like 4 exams we're going to write. So I was like, okay, they are still going to do another session for post-UME. That's like another exam we'll write. So obviously, most likely everybody that is here coming for JAMB will also be there for post-UME. So when we come for post-UME, then I'll talk to the girl. So I've technically not lost, right? So this was when COVID now hit. So COVID-19 came out of nowhere. This all it to just be like basically, I think we wrote JAMB around March. Then eventually when I came back around October that year to continue for like to start preparing for the second exam. And when I came back, she was no longer there. I never saw her again. So the point I'm trying to make from this story is like, the main reason why I didn't talk to this girl was just because I was scared. That was like the bottom reason. The obviously I could say, oh, she was talking with somebody, or she was like, all those are just nonsense. The main in fact 90% of the reason, or if not even the only reason, was just because I was scared. But now that this is 5 years later and I'm thinking back to that moment, it's like, will it have mattered? Because if I ask myself if I could go back in time and see my stupid 17 years old self and ask him like, what exactly was I scared of? It was like rejection and just looking stupid and whatever. And the thing is that even if technically I did get rejected, would it matter now? And the answer is no, probably not, because I'm 21 now, about turning 22, and the way I see life now is very different. Like basically everything that matters to me right here, right now, like it didn't matter to him, and everything that mattered to him at the time, it's like I can't even fucking relate. It's like, how can this be your priority? How can this be your problem? How can you be scared of him? I'm sure that the crazy thing is that if I even miraculously see the girl walking past me, I might not even be able to recognize her. That's the point. Like the picture of her face is very blurred in my head. Like I don't even be able to recognize her. And I'm sure if I say it again, she might not even be that attractive. It'll be like, now for you, bro. But the point I'm trying to make though is like, I was really, really scared. And why I'm making this video is that a lot of us, the fear of rejection, just the fear of like looking stupid, the fear of doing things wrong, usually just prevents us from taking any action at all. And the thing is that it doesn't even necessarily have to be like, oh, you want to talk to your crush, or you want to talk to some girl. It might just be anything in general. You might want to start some business, you might want to approach somebody, you might want to try out a new hobby, you might want to travel somewhere else, you might want to live in a new place. It's just like this fear that this thing will not work out, like I would regret, like if I do it, and it's like a bad decision, I would like, how would I put it, like, because it's like a bad decision, it's like a loss basically. But the thing that we don't usually realize is like, you not doing it at all is the loss. Like, that's like the biggest loss ever, and I can tell you, like, it will linger in your soul that years later this like regret will still be there. This story I told you happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Tell me, like, that same 5 years, like a billion other things happened that year that I cannot even remember. But this particular event, till today, 5 years later, I still remember. And I'm very, very sure another 5 years from now, I will still remember. 10 years later, I probably will still remember this thing. And every time I think back to it, there's always this bit of dread that comes with it that's just like, I wish I just had some balls and just talked to this girl. Like, I wish I just said something. I wish I just tried. So the point I'm trying to make from this is that you would want to do something, and you'll be scared of the failure, you'll be scared of the like loss. Like, if I do this thing and everything goes wrong, it's basically bad, which is kind of true, because obviously if you lose, like, he assuming maybe I went to talk to her and she rejected me or whatever, this kind of would have hurt. But it's like that pain is so insignificant to the pain of regret. And the reason why it's so insidious is like, when you are avoiding this, you think you're saving yourself from pain, but it's like you're just choosing a worse pain, if that makes sense. It's just like, how would I put it now? Think about it like, which good example can I use? Like, maybe wanting to get, like, let's say, stabbed in the arm, for example, with a knife, and you're avoiding. Let's just assume there are two ways. I know this example is fucked up, but let's assume there are two ways to get injured, for example, right? So the first way is like, you get stabbed, they stab your arm and you injure, you die, whatever. And you're trying to avoid that, but you don't know the second way that looks more appealing, which they tell you they will not stab you, sounds better. But what you don't know is that second way, they're literally going to carry a gun and shoot you. And that is 10 times like worse than just getting stabbed, because if you're stabbed in the arm, very, very bad, but you can like recover from it. If you get shots in like the face or in the head or something, like, you're dead. So it's like, but you don't see like you don't see the end result of the second one, that is, it just leads to destruction. That this first option that looks painful is actually the best way to go, if that makes any sense. So the gun and the knife example, very bad, but the point I'm trying to make is like, when you're walking and you see some fine girl that you want to talk to, when you're going around and maybe you see let's say somebody that can help you push your career, let's assume you're like you're an upcoming artist, for example, like you're like a musician, so you're going about your day and you recognize maybe some celebrity musician guy that if you can talk to this guy and kind of like impress him, like he could take, like, that's like a door for you. The things that you might think that, okay, if I go and talk to him now and I say something stupid, I'm going to look bad, or if I say something offensive, he's never going to want to talk to me again, which is technically true, which could happen. But the things that you don't know is that the other pain that you will not be drifting towards, which is, I should just go about my day and just forget about it, that is going to be 10 times more painful, because 5 years later, when you look back to that moment, and worse is when you now find out maybe some other random guy, for example, also spotted that same celebrity guy in public, but this had the balls to walk over to him and just talk, and the guy signed him to his label or whatever, and he became successful. I don't really know how it works, but let's just assume you will feel so bad that could have been you. If you just tried, if you just had balls, if you just chose instant pain. It's basically instant gratification versus delayed gratification. So instant gratification is just like things that give us instant pleasure. So usually things like junk food and porn and weed and all these bad things, like instant pleasure, but they just make your life worse in the long run. Well, delayed gratification are things that give you later pleasure but make your life better. So these are things like working out and eating the right food and meditating and praying to God, all those type of stuff. It's like the same thing in this case. It's just that this one is usually somewhat masked, in the sense that you might think, if I go and do this thing, you know, I might fail and look stupid. My friends will laugh at me, you know, my parents will be disappointed, whatever. Which is technically true, which could happen. Very, very high chance it will. But what is 10 times more painful, what is 10 times worse, is you not doing that. Because for the rest of your life, I can guarantee you, you would not forget that thing, and it will continue to eat you alive. And you will just wish you could just go back and change it. That's one thing a lot of people ask. A lot of people usually ask me that if you could go back in time and, you know, do something different, what will you do? I usually don't really have any specific thing, like, oh, maybe I would have bought Bitcoin in like 2012 or 2015 or something like that. But other than that, it's like I don't really have anything. But it's like the only thing that comes to my mind is just regrets like this. If I could go back, I would have just tried. I would have just talked to this girl. I would have just met with this guy. I would have just gone to this place. I would have just gone to see that thing. I would have just done something. So the point I'm trying to make summary is like, if there's an opportunity in front of you, there's like something that you're scared that you might fail, something that you're scared that it might not work the way you want it to work. Trust me, you not doing that, you not taking that leap of faith, you not trying at all, it's going to be 10 times more painful than you actually trying. And if you don't try, like, I don't even know how to put this. It's like it will haunt you forever, basically. It will haunt you forever. So if there's any opportunity in your front, like, grab it. Don't waste time with people. I think, like, just go and do it. Just go and do it.